How's it, everybody? Today I wanted to teach you guys what we do to record our videos, what our setup is, and the specific parts that you can get yourself to replicate what we do. We've gotten a lot of questions here and there on videos on how we have our setup, what do we use. So today, that's what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to go through each piece of our setup, and I'll have a link in the description to each piece, and I'll show you the price, the name of it, and explain to you why we use that piece and what that piece is for. So this is essentially our basic setup. We have a GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and we have an external mic attached to the GoPro. The mic that is built into the GoPros are, frankly, they're not very good. You probably realize that yourself if you've been filming with a GoPro. If there's any sort of wind or anything, it's just sometimes it's just completely inaudible. You can't understand anything. And even if the conditions are great, it's still not the best. But with this setup, not very expensive, you can have yourself way higher quality videos in that it's just going to sound so much better. And if you're asking me, I think that sound quality for a video is almost just as important as video quality in itself. So let's go through what we got here. I'll start with the GoPro itself. We have a Hero 3 Plus. I use that because we shoot all of our videos in 1080p at 60 frames a second, and the Hero 3 Plus is perfect for that. And you can get these on the cheap now that there's so many other ones. I bought this one used thanks to some of you Patreon people out there. We finally have a little bit extra funding where we can start buying this equipment that we've always wanted. So we have 2 GoPros now. This one we got used off somebody. Under 150 bucks you can get them used, and it's in great quality. It's awesome. Been using it, not a single issue. So if you're out there looking for a solution, use GoPro Hero 3 Pluses. They shoot 60 frames per second, 1080p. That's the standard that we like to use. 720p works too. 60 frames per second is pretty critical in my opinion, just to have that crisp, nice looking video. Besides that, I like the GoPro itself because it comes with a USB mini slot, and that allows us to attach a microphone to it without any issues. I've used some other video cameras like the Manova one you've seen us use, and it has a USB micro port, and I have yet to date be able to find a converter like this that goes to a micro port that actually works. Oh, some noisy minor birds out there today. Bro, get out of here. So that's the GoPro. For your case, if you're going to want to use this rig, you're going to want a case like this. It's called an open side skeletal case. This one came in a 2-pack for 12 bucks, really cheap. And that allows access to these ports that I was just mentioning so that you can plug in your external microphone rig. This sort of case, which I recommend over our older rig. For a long time we ran the rig where we had this, it's just a bare skeletal case. It worked well for what it did, and I used one of these. It's just a little lens cap to protect my lens. But from experience, I'm going to tell you guys, avoid these at all. Like, just avoid these. Do not use these, because some of them are not perfectly fitted and they're a little bit too small, which I've learned by putting one on my lens. When I took it off eventually, it actually ripped the housing of my lens off along with it. And at first I thought my GoPro was basically ruined. Turns out it was an easy fix. It only cost 12 bucks. But that's, I don't want to, like, why would you want to break your GoPro using some lower quality things when you can just get a case like this? It provides a little bit of extra water protection. I've never had an issue with ruining a GoPro, knock on wood there. Even fishing here in Hawaii with choke, you know, rain, wind, waves, salt water, all that. The only thing you're going to have an issue with is if you fall into the water. That'll let water in. So don't fall into the water. Next thing I'll go into is the microphone setup itself. So this is a 3-part setup here. We have this adapter. This will be in the description as well. It's called a 3.5 millimeter female to mini USB. So it's 3.5 millimeter jack, which is one of these that goes on a speaker, and it converts it into a mini USB port, which is what connects to your GoPro. So you have your adapter here, and then the most important part, in my opinion, a good microphone. This microphone, it costs about 25 bucks, and it's awesome. It gives really good quality. You're listening to this microphone right now, and in my opinion, for a little external microphone this size, this portable, this thing's great. It's awesome. It's a dual band microphone. Just gets plugged right into the top of your adapter. Bango. That goes into your GoPro. And then for extra cushion, get yourself a wind muff. There's a bunch of different types of these. I have this one because it was on sale. It was like 12 bucks. It came with 3 of these. And these go directly onto your microphone. Now what this does is it cuts that wind or that wave action, that kind of background noise that just you might notice in your videos if you're not using an external mic, or if you're using one without this muff. That's just going to cause huge issues, especially where we're fishing here in Hawaii. It's always windy. There's always a lot of wave action, especially the wind. This will just cut that wind noise down so far you won't even notice it's there unless it's really windy. So this is critical if you're fishing anywhere where there's any kind of wind. That setup right there is going to boost the audio quality of your videos to basically a professional level. You're going to be on par with most anybody out there making fishing videos. Final thing we have going on, well, final few things. Upgrade your SD card if you have the spare funds to a 64 gigabyte SD card. We go on long fishing trips here. I was using the smaller size SD card and it just does not have enough space for what we do. And when I'm using this, I don't have to worry about shooting too much footage. I always know that I have extra footage. Another accessory you can get yourself, extra batteries. These are always great. They come in all sorts of different brands and sizes. I'll have a link to the cheapest one that I just bought myself. It's always switching around though. If you're in Hawaii, pretty bad news. They stopped allowing batteries to be shipped here because of fire issues on planes. So I don't know what to tell you. I myself have to now buy my batteries when I go and visit my grandparents or relatives on the mainland and have them shipped there and bring them back in my in my carry-on luggage, because you just can't find people that'll ship them here anymore. It's a pain. And the very last thing, all of that, you have your mount system. This mount here, made by Same Top, really cheap for what you get. I've been using this for a few months now and it still just works great. I haven't had any issues with it. And what I like is it comes with this. It's called a J mount. If you're running this rig here, your standard mount on a chest mount won't have enough room for this thing to be mounted on there. It'll end up being pushed forward like that. But with a J mount, it gives you extra space like this, so there's lots of room for it to swivel around. You're not going to have any issues pointing it in a certain direction. That comes included with this kit, as well as the head mount itself. So you get the chest mount, the head mount, pretty cheap. I had no issues with it. I'd recommend it. Link in the description. This just gets plugged right into here. It exchanges for the other mount. Then you can plug your top onto that. I actually put that in upside down. Little bit of a tight fit, but it goes right on in there. Boom. Then you put in your screw, and then you're good to go. That's a nice little mount right there. And that's really all there is to it for what we do. Amount of cost you gotta put into things for a really high value production level is not that much. The whole cost of this extra rig and all this other stuff here, I think is 130 bucks, which seems expensive, but it's gonna last as long as you take care of it. If you're serious about making videos, I basically say you gotta have better audio quality on them. You gotta have a mount system. Hero 3 Plus, you can replace this with other GoPros, of course. I like this one, like I was saying, because it's cheap. I can get them used now. I don't have any use for the back mount part, the little screen that comes in the 4 and the upward versions of the GoPro. It just drains battery and I'm not using it because it's mounted to my head. I'm obviously not looking at it. Also the new Hero 5, like the boxy ones, I'm not sure exactly what the name is, but they don't take extra batteries, so as soon as that's out of batteries, you have to basically go and charge it. Great thing about the Hero 3 Plus and some of the other Heroes, you can just keep swapping batteries in and out of there. This is a couple generations old as well, so all the equipment is now getting cheaper. The batteries are now cheaper. There's all sorts of equipment out there you can get for these. If you've seen our videos, you know they're not, low quality, low resolution videos. They have high quality. These things shoot fine. I have no issues with the 3 Plus. It's fine for me. Anything below that, I wouldn't go with the 3. It doesn't shoot in 1080, doesn't shoot in 60 FPS I like. I'm never shooting in 4K, so I don't worry about shooting videos in 4K like that. And that's it, guys. I hope this helped a few of you. If you're out there wondering what you should do yourself to have a better quality video, if you want to step it up just a little bit, find yourself a rig that you can get a nice external mic. That'll improve the video quality of anything you're shooting, really. Right on, guys. Hope that helps some of you out. Until next time, shoots the douche.